The lead story was Chad Whittle, producer extraordinaire, alertly cut out. No divorce listing. No divorce listing? The Douglas Enterprise does not list divorces? No. Well, God forbid the Valdosta Daily Times takes them over anytime soon. Guess who got divorced in Douglas? Catty, spiteful, nagging, evil people, the VDT. I hate you all. Except for Dean Poling. I can roll with him. He's a cool guy. Everybody else, forget it. Here's what we've got now, Douglas Enterprise. The headline. City approves to raise electricity rates. City approves to raise electricity. I don't know if that's the best well-written headline, but let me get into the story proper. The City of Douglas Mayor and Commission held their regular meeting on Tuesday, December 27th, blah, blah, blah. The commission voted 5-1 to raise the rates on city electric customers. There's a $5 million increase. The proposal will be effective starting January 1st, so it's already gone into effect. Customers can expect a $5 million increase on the electric portion of their bill. City electric customers are currently paying $2 million for electricity. According to MEAG, M-E-A-G representative, I guess that's their electric bill group out there. Guy's name is Donald Carver. Here's what Don from the MEAG group says. This increase is due to, listen to this, listen to these words. This increase is due to recent stricter federal mandates regarding coal production. Hey, Biomass No people, didn't I tell you this? Was I the lone voice of sanity in South Georgia who told you, and I got so much grief and static over this. People were mad at me because I'd say biomass, no, and I would mock their little group, and I'd mock their little signs and say, you don't understand. If you don't have biomass, you are saying coal, yes. I was the only person. And you can listen to the radio morning types if you dare. I don't know why you waste your time. Because everyone else, oh yeah, biomass, no, crying out loud, fine. Are you out of your mind? These people are idiots. If you're saying no to biomass, you're saying yes to coal. President Barack Obama himself has said your bills will necessarily skyrocket. We have played that quote time and time again. I read now the words of wisdom from the Douglas Enterprise, who has got it absolutely correct. Under the direction of President Obama, the Environmental Protection Agency has already forced coal plants throughout the United States to install equipment to decrease the level of pollutants released in the atmosphere. According to Carver, the MEAG representative over in Douglas, the current average residential customer uses approximately 1,300 kilowatt hours per month. The rate increase means the average residential customers will see an increase of approximately $7 per month, or about $84 per year. The reason is Douglas relies on coal for 40% of its electricity. And they're going up $7 a month. Now, I know you're thinking, Frank's only $7 a month. That's not a big deal. That's nothing, isn't it? Chad, what do you got? Are you working on something over there? You're starting to scare me over there.
You know, under my plan
Obama.
Of a cap and trade system,
it's Obama.
Electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket.
There you go. It can be cap and trade. It can be we like solar, not coal. We want biomass. Biomass, yes. Biomass, no. The rates are going to necessarily skyrocket. Douglas, you're the latest victim. Now, Valdosta, when this happens to us, please don't call me and complain. I'm the only person who's been calling this 100% right down the line perfectly every single show since this nonsense began. The Biomass No gang that had the city over a barrel, and they had college students, and they dressed up with masks on, and they held up signs that said, I died of lung cancer. Why? Because someone burned down a pine tree? Oh, that's better than sniffing coal. Look, moron, if it's that big of a deal, you may call in and persuade me otherwise, and I've made this challenge before, and I'll make the challenge again. because I don't want anyone to think I'm being unclear or wishy-washy or hypocritical on this. When your house is off the grid, when you are 100% off the grid here in Valdosta, when you have a solar panel array that's providing warmth, goodness, electricity, and heat to your home, then you can call in at 241-1059 and tell me how to do it, because I'd love to hear from you. I like solar power as a concept. I love solar power as a theory. I don't like using coal more than you. I don't like using biomass more than you. But the reality is, you had an opportunity to support a renewable resource of excess tree funk, and that would power your homes. Instead, the overreaction, the crying, the children will die if they breathe. Yeah, sure. What about the children in the shadow of the evil coal plant? Oh, wait, we're closing the coal plants because coal is necessarily bad and evil. Electricity is going to come from somewhere, guys. These squiggly little fluorescent bulbs are not the solution. Will they help you save a couple bucks a month? Sure, I use them at my house. But to act as if everyone's going to put in a squiggly fluorescent bulb and that will solve all of our problems, and we're going to crack down and ban incandescent bulbs. Yeah, you can't buy those. We're really going to take charge of this. Oh, please. Seriously, that's the best you got? Until you can go to Walmart or Home Depot or Lowe's and buy solar panels that you can install in an afternoon on your house, and there's a cable from the solar panel that you then plug in directly and safely yourself into your panel, your big panel of all of your fuse boxes, that switch. Until that day gets here, solar is still a pipe dream. Don't tell me about these little mushroom lamps that you can pick up at the hardware store, and look, they illuminate the front walk. Hey, that's great. I'm watching TV inside. How many of those little solar mushroom plants will take to generate a 42-inch diagonal HD TV? Let me know the answer to that. Oh, you don't make enough of those yet? Then I'm not interested. Douglas is now learning the cold, hard reality that if you start shutting down coal plants by virtue of Econ 101 supply and demand theory, you know what's going to happen. There's not enough electricity to go around. Your rates will necessarily skyrocket. It's happening in Douglas today. It happened 2 days ago. The new rates kicked in on January 1st. According to the cost of service report provided to Douglas, quote, due to federal mandates, environmental control equipment has been installed at our coal plants, and due to the cost of these environmental controls, our wholesale power costs have increased significantly. Mayor Wilson, who's the mayor of Douglas, says, quote, this is a prime example of how what they do in Washington affects us locally. Mayor-elect James Dennis said, is there any way for us to start a grassroots campaign to try to get every citizen affected by this to write letters to get the federal government to try and get some relief? Carver, who's the guy from the Meeg Electric Cooperative, says, they've already started the process at several plants, so it is in effect now. The only thing we can hope for is that they lift these new mandates. You're next, Valdosta. You're next, Quitman. Tifton, I'm looking at you guys. Thomasville, not going to escape this one. When your rates go up, don't be surprised. Remember, this is the morning radio program who's been telling you that it's coming. And unlike Glenn Beck, don't get me wrong, I love Glenn Beck. He's on from 9 to noon. I'm not going to be the scaredy type person who goes, I told you to buy gold. I'm not going to do that. I think it's stupid. But I will be the person who says, when there's a federal mandate, when the EPA has the power to regulate coal and electricity, and when you have a commander-in-chief who says your rates under these cap-and-trade plans, which is all electricity, guys, it's all energy, it's all power, your rates will necessarily skyrocket, when he tells you that, and your representatives and senators, Democrats and Republicans both, go along with it, don't you dare be surprised. I'm not afraid of it, because I'm not surprised. It's hard to surprise people that are paying attention. And by virtue of just listening to this program, you're paying attention. You're making an active choice to find out what's going on out there. Your rates will go up. It just happened to Douglas across South Georgia because the people are so freaked out when your rates necessarily skyrocket. Don't you dare be surprised. We're pushing 7:49, a brief timeout. Back with more to wrap up the 7 o'clock hour of the first show of 2012. News Talk 105.9. This is WVGA.